Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What it do, what it is. This is the Peace Dealer. I just wanted to squeeze in a short PSA and message before I do my Magic Moo message. I don't know who needs to hear this, but apparently there's still this like weird rhetoric about demonizing people who offer their services in exchange for value, whether it's money, whether it's another service. I need to make sure we're clear. Don't listen to people who assert some moral sense of judgment, acting like they're better than you because they do what they do for free. It's weird. It's like once we step, that's why I don't like to say I'm in a spiritual community, because once you use the term spiritual, people get strange about everything. It's as if just because something is spiritual, then you have to do it for free. We've attached this 12th house martyr energy to spiritual work that is not based on anything factual. It's not based on reality. It's not based on history. It's not even based on the Bible, that people act like they get this stuff from, because they look at the ministry of Jesus and they say, oh, Jesus never charged for the services he did. And that's not even true. Like, a lot of y'all take the Bible so out of context. And as proof, ask these people who say this, ask them for the historicity of Israel during that period. They're not going to be able to tell you anything. They'll be like, these people only take verses out of context. So let me actually just educate whoever needs to hear this. Share, anytime you hear someone like put that rhetoric out, share them this video so that they can be put in their place, because they inadvertently don't know how stupid they sound. But let me back up what I'm saying. First of all, what you will always notice when you hear people talk about or say stuff like this, they have no business acumen. They have no education or study in economics, and they're trash when it comes to business. Everyone has a business now. Everyone has an LLC, but it's different from people who've actually put in years in business. I've actually studied communication, journalism, and business in college, so I know my shit. And anybody who knows basic economics, you will never hear them say that stupid shit ever. And what do I mean by that? There is nothing in this life that's free. That's a basic economic principle. The whole notion of free this, free that, it doesn't exist. Everything in this life incurs an opportunity cost. Anyone who runs a business knows this. You can't go to Subway and be like, well, I think this should be free because the food that you feed can help people. They're going to laugh at you and they're going to tell you to get the fuck out their store. Now listen, Little Caesars Pizza and Subway at their own discretion can see a homeless person and give them a free meal, but that's up to them to decide. That's not up to you. That's not up to you to decide, because you don't even own that business. So there's this just snobbery and pretentious entitlement in so many people who feel a certain way when they can't afford your services. They bring this whole spiritual quasi pseudo intellectual argument to guilt trip you into feeling you're doing anything bad. So let me just break this down. If you knew any basic historicity about the mission work that these apostles did, churches back then weren't fake like these mega churches now that are social clubs where people just come in and talk about Jesus stuff and then they go out on their week. These people died pushing the gospel of Christ. It's like us who get censored today. They were not allowed to push that. They were seen as a cult. They were hung. Peter got hung upside down. These meetings for church, Jesus didn't even recognize a church in the sense of a group, whereas the church was really within internal. Your body is a temple of God. And so church is meeting up with fellow people who live like Christ in order to congregate. Okay, so back then it was for mission work. It's like, we about to go preach the gospel there. We need these kind of resources. We need to talk doctrine, all that stuff. It's not like the watered down, spiritless version of church you see now, because the devil been infiltrated the church. Okay, read the book of Revelations if you want to see Jesus sound off on all the church. Revelations chapter 2. I've been a Christian for years. So this whole notion of people just waking up into Christianity, been there, seen that, done that. I see through it. Y'all are not true Christians. There's nothing in your life or actions that mirror what any of what Jesus did in the Bible. You're more like the Pharisees and Sadducees who criticized Jesus for doing the work. Period. So if you know the historicity of those times, you would know the reason why people didn't charge to heal, the reason why the people didn't charge to do gospel work is because when a prophet came into your town, when a priest or pastor came into your town, they would be welcomed in by the people of that parish. They wouldn't have to pay for room. They wouldn't have to pay for board. Okay? They would be in a position where they would be roomed. Jesus was homeless. He was the Son of God and he had no place to lay his head. But another thing that people don't know is that Jesus and Paul worked 9 to 5s. They were carpenters. So while they were doing mission work, they had a day job. People don't acknowledge that. You're not going to see this detailed in the Bible because if you knew the historicity of that time, you would just know that's what people did. So don't listen to these people who take stuff out of context and be like, oh, well, you should do it for free. Nothing is free. Everything in terms of cost. Like, you're spending your time. Time is money before it's anything else. So whether you get money for it, you're spending your time, period. Anyone who says that has no basic principles of economics because they're dumb. Like, they don't understand business. That's why they spit this pseudo-intellectual rhetoric. It gets better. This doesn't happen now. It's not like it was before when people were more genuine in their love for Christ to spread this message. So people are not going to offer you into their home. They're not going to feed you. And so you know what you have to do? They gotta pay. That's only fair. Don't be blind in your faith and doing stuff for nothing and then wondering why people are taking advantage of you. You need to dead this whole rhetoric that exchanging your time for value is evil in any way, when we even see this in the Bible. All prophets in the Old Testament, you had to give them something. They didn't have to ask. It was customary. Thank you. That's why if my room is being taken, if my board's being taken, I don't have to charge you. It was already spoken. So don't let these people take this stuff out of context. It is Luciferian. It's demonic. That's what the devil does. People put a form of godliness in this mask of Christianity, but they don't live it. No place in the Bible do you see Jesus judging people for the lifestyle they live. He led forward with his life. A true Christian leads forward with their actions. And the way they live is what influences others, because Jesus saves other people, not you forcing your religion down people's throats. And your understanding of Christ syncretizes with other paths. A Muslim, a Buddhist, a Santera, a Palero, who live in integrity aren't going to be denied because they didn't believe in Jesus. There's a way Spirit looks at these things. And if you're so busy dividing yourself on how to get up to the truth, which is the spirit of division, the fruit of the flesh in Galatians, if you read, I know my Bible in and out. I've been doing this for years. That's how I know I can spot a fake from a true Christian. It's how I've been raised. So if you're out here preaching the spirit of division, that's what the Pharisees did to Jesus. Oh, why are you healing on the Sabbath? Oh, why are you hanging around these thugs? Why are you hanging around people who are not spiritual? That's how you people sound. That's how you people sound. Okay, I'm just letting you know. So dead all that BS. And this video is for those of you who feel genuinely threatened or guilt tripped by people who make you feel guilty for doing what you're supposed to do. Push that industry forward. Build that business. You're not trading your gifts for money. You're trading your time for money. The gifts come with that time. So keep that in mind. Godspeed.